guys, thanks for joining me and for participating throughout the week. I've had a lot of fun and I hope you have too. I have a great lineup of demos for you tonight that I hope everyone can, just find something that might make their lives a little bit easier, especially when it comes to chores and cleaning. There are so many great products and I can't wait to show them all to you. Before we start, this is the actual catalog, but there is a link for the catalog in the event description of this group, so make sure to click on that and check that out. I encourage you to actually shop the collections on pages 50 and 51. That looks like this. They group like items together so that you get the most bang for your buck. So check that out. The Just Add Water package is one of my favorites. That's this one here. So I think that one has all of the basics that you really need to truly kick off starting to use these products. So if you're ready to dive in, I suggest that package. And if not, you want to start smaller, there are some great smaller packages as well. So be sure to check that out. Now before I actually get started, I have a great demo to start with that I can't wait to show you, but I wanted to just talk a little bit about why I'm so passionate about these products. So in 2013, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. She's a breast cancer survivor, and that was really eye-opening for me. She had the BRCA test done and it came back being not genetic. Therefore, it's environmental. So since then, I have actually learned that only 1 to 2 out of cancers are genetic. The rest are all environmental. So that's a pretty big, number that are coming from chemicals and everything that we're introducing to our body. That is when I started to switch over to using white vinegar. I was really paying attention to what I was putting in my body as well as on and around it. And then also around my, I have 2 dogs and we were paying attention, I was worried about them as well as my husband and now my son. So I've been super cautious about what I use, and the white vinegar, I used it pretty much on everything, but it really just wasn't doing the job. I mean, first of all, I don't even know if it was cleaning up all of the bacteria, but Google said so, that it was a great all-natural cleaner, so that was what I turned to. It also was leaving streaks all over the floor because I was cleaning the floors with it. So it really, just wasn't giving me the results that I wanted and didn't seem to be as effective as the chemicals. So from time to time, I would find myself rebuying the chemicals and going back to those, and that's not something I want to do. So a little fact that I want to share with you that really just blew my mind before I move on is that the internal environment of our homes is among the top 4 hazards to our own health. We have, a spray for this, a wipe for that, and something else for the floors. We've got all these different chemical concoctions we're using, and we're basically creating this toxic combination that is really affecting our health in the long run. There are 150 ingredients in household cleaners that are actually being linked to some cancers, eczema, lung irritations, asthma, psychological disorders, birth defects, and the list goes on. So we're really hurting ourselves. And so that's, one of the reasons I'm so passionate about it, because Norwex is actually a chemical-free alternative that you just use water with. So when I saw this, it was like a no-brainer to me. I'm like, this is the answer to what I've been trying to find for so many years. So I wanted to share that all with you guys, because even if I can help even a couple of families change over the way that they clean, even if it's just a few things, not only is it, saving our health, but it's helping to save the environment as well as money and time over the course of using these products. So it's pretty awesome. So I'm going to start with another kind of chicken demo. I'm going to turn the camera, so just bear with me for a second, because I want you to be able to see the full the screen here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare I'm going to use chicken again, and I'm going to actually compare the effectiveness of Norwex against white vinegar, which is something that I commonly used, And then these wipes here, and then I have Norwex. So I'm gonna back you up a little bit. I'm gonna take the chicken and just do a few spots. I wanna be sure you can see it. So I'm just going to do 1, 2, and 3 spots here. So this also goes back to what I had discussed before in about chemical cleaning versus mechanical cleaning. So we've got mechanical cleaning with our Norwex microfiber, and then we have chemical cleaning when you're relying on a concoction of chemicals to clean up the bacteria. That is actually what we're doing with the other ingredients here, the other methods. So I rubbed that there. I'm also going to now use this glow germ, and this is actually used a lot in hospitals and schools to show effectiveness of how well people are cleaning their hands, washing their hands. So this is kind of a cool visual for you guys to be able to really see it and how well each product works. So we've got the 3 things there. So first I'll wipe up with my vinegar over here. Set that aside. Then I'll use these wipes, these Clorox. And lastly, I am going to take my Norwex. You want to keep it flat as you wipe. And then I'm going to, and that's so that all of the fibers in the cloth can pick up that bacteria. So I'm gonna set that down there. So now I have a black light. I'm gonna actually turn off the light so you can really get a good look. So first we've got our white vinegar over here. I'm gonna move you guys a little bit closer. So we've got white vinegar over here. You can see there's still some streakiness there on the counter. Then over in the center here, we've got the Clorox wipes, which you can also see some streakiness there. And then over here, lastly, we have Norwex, which you can see there's not anything on the surface. So I wanted to show you as I wipe this up. So I'm gonna just kind of sweep along and pick up all of the remnants of the rest of the products that really didn't work, because I don't want to be running my arm through any chicken, raw chicken here as I'm going. So that was an eye-opener for me when I saw that demo being done, because you know, you often think, you know, what other cleaners, what are my other cleaners doing? You know, are they actually picking up that bacteria? And that's what I wanted to talk a little bit about now, is that so what Norwex does is actually, the great thing about it is it has these microfibers in it, and there's this dense weave within them that the fibers actually are only 1/200th of a human hair. So that is super tiny. 1/200th. To be labeled a microfiber, so any of the ones that you might see in Home Depot or the dollar store, those are all only 1/6, and these are 1/200th. So that's a huge difference in quality. And that's why these are able to claim that they are picking up 99.9% of the bacteria, as you just saw now, and the chicken demo that I did earlier this week, which make sure you check that out if you haven't already. The microfibers basically act like finger-like, you know, projections, and they pick the bacteria up and they lock it into the cloth. So then you're sure that you're not spreading it around on other surfaces as you're going along. And so that's how the microfiber kind of works. And then those ones that you find in the dollar store also, or the Home Depot, those have you almost will feel like you get snags on them, especially if you have some dry skin. You won't get that with this. They're so soft and that microfiber is so fine that that's not going to happen. So the other great thing about these cloths, one of the best things, is it comes with this backlock technology, which you'll see labeled on in the catalog on a lot of the products. And that is, what that means is that this is actually embedded with microsilver. And that microsilver goes to work once that bacteria is trapped in the cloth, and it actually suffocates the bacteria so that it's not able to grow in the cloth and give you those stinky cloths, dishcloths and towels and whatever else, those all get super stinky. And this will not do that because it has that silver technology. So after I use it, I will rinse it out in the sink, wring it out, and hang it to dry. And once it's dried, within 18 to 24 hours, that bacteria is actually dead. It's no longer growing in that cloth. So it's, ready to go again. So you're not having to you're able to reuse these. You're not having to throw them in the wash, every time you use them. So you get a couple more uses out of them, and you're not using so many paper towels, which was another thing I had talked about this week. Our paper towel usage is just out of hand. So it really cuts down on that as well. So that is the great thing about microfiber, and that's that's a mechanical way of cleaning. Now, I want to talk a little bit about these guys. Does anyone still use these? I know I did before I found Norwex, and they are, a way of chemical cleaning. So basically, we're relying on a concoction of chemicals to come together and kill the bacteria on a surface that we're wiping. So they say they're 99.9% effective, but really I find they're just rubbing it around after just showing you that demo. They're just kind of smushing it around, and then they're leaving a residue on the counter. So just not good. The concoction of chemicals also, we're relying on it to kill everything, but as they're being introduced to bacteria, they're actually growing super bacteria. The bacteria are becoming super bacteria, and they're becoming resistant to chemical cleaners like this. So you don't have to worry about that with the mechanical cleaning because we're not relying on these chemicals to do the job. So another food for thought on these. I wanted to just read a few things off of the back of here because it was very eye-opening for me. And, I wasn't often reading these things, but the precautionary statement, first of all, is hazards to humans and domestic animals. I don't know about you guys, but that's all I have living in my house, so that's pretty scary. Then, as far as the directions go, it says, not for cleaning or sanitizing skin. Do not use as a diaper wiper for personal cleansing. So it's not made to be in contact with your skin for a prolonged period of time. And I will tell you that it takes only 26 seconds for a chemical by the time when it touches your skin, to absorb into your bloodstream. So 26 seconds to absorb into your bloodstream. And that's important to note as I read further here. So then it says, for surfaces that may come in, nope, not that one, sorry. I'll read that after. It says, this is a key part. Use enough wipes for treated surface to remain visibly wet for 4 whole minutes. That's a lot of time. I don't know about you guys, but I don't have that kind of time. And you think about that 26 seconds. So after 26 seconds of those 4 minutes, you're starting to absorb it into your bloodstream. Just think about how many chemicals are getting into you when you're using these. And I also don't know anyone that wipes for 4 whole minutes. So that's to disinfect a surface. And then I want the other thing that I want to read off of here was, for surfaces that may come in contact with food, a potable water rinse is required. Now, I don't know about you, but my surfaces in my house, majority of the surfaces are eaten off at any point during the day. I've got 2 dogs, they're eating off the floor. Even my son will eat off the floor, if I'm being honest, when he drops something and picks it up. Not that I use these on the floor, but I mean, I've been, from time to time you wipe up a spot, if you see something, and, the other floor cleaners out there are very similar to these, as far as the chemicals. So and then, they eat off of coffee tables, counters, we eat off of all the surfaces, and I don't have time to be doing water rinses after. So these are, you know, truly just a waste of time, a waste of money, and they're really not good for your health. And I'm going to actually start a timer over here for 4 minutes to just show you how long 4 minutes is. So we'll continue on and wait for that to go off after. So I'm going to start right in here and start talking about some of the products now that we've kind of talked about those. It wouldn't be fair of me to not show you an alternative to replace those all-purpose cleaners. So this is the EnviroCloth. It's pretty big. As you can see, you're going to, I fold it down into 4s so that way you have a couple of working surfaces. You can, you know, kind of use one side, fold it, and use another. So it gives you a lot of surface area to use. It has this unique looped weave. I don't know if you can see that on there. It's kind of hard to tell to come into focus, but it's a unique looped weave. It's a lot to say. And it is so dense. The fiber in this is so dense, and it has that tiny 1/200th of a hair size microfiber, and it's just a really great cloth. I use it for everything. They say Enviro, E for everything. That's a good way to remember it. I've wiped toys, mirrors, wiped down bathrooms. If you have someone that spits all over the faucet of the sink, you know, it's great for that, cleaning up that. You honestly can use it on anything. I've used it on micro suede furniture. You can wipe those down if you have one that's kind of looking dingy. You can use it outside on patio furniture and whatever. You name it, you can use this. So that is a really great cloth. And then I want to show you now its kind of partner in crime, which is the window cloth. So the window cloth is purple, and we say purple P for polish. It's kind of it comes in after the EnviroCloth has done the job, and I use this one dry. I use the EnviroCloth, you want to use it damp. You use it dry, and you're going to come in after you've already cleaned with this, and you're going to kind of shine the surface with this. So it works great on mirrors and windows, but also on stainless steel, granite countertops, all of that. So it's really handy to have. These two go really nicely together, and they actually come in a package together if you want to start with the basics. This is a basic package. This also has the microfiber. It's made of microfiber, so it has that 99.9% effectiveness of lifting bacteria, just like Enviro, and it also has the micro silver or the backlock technology. So these are similar in that sense, and they work really well together. So I'm going to take a mirror here, and I'm going to actually just demo this for you. I want to put a little bit of Vaseline on here, because that's something, you know, that really, I had used butter before, but I don't want to waste all of my good butter, so I switched over to Vaseline because I really don't use it that often, and I found it in the cabinet. So we've got the Vaseline on the mirror here, and you know, I'm sure I have a window in my house right now that actually looks like this, between dog nose prints and my son's fingerprints. So what you're going to take is this EnviroCloth with a nice flat surface, with a nice flat lay. You know, you want to hold it nice and flat. And so you're gonna kind of just wipe that down, and you can see I keep folding it to just kind of get a clean surface, so I'm not just smearing around the Vaseline. So you can see, you know, it's a little bit streaky still, but it's all cleaned off. That's the first step. Then you want to take, that is our timer. So you may stop wiping your counters now and start up your potable water rinse, presuming that you will be eating off of the surface. So no one has time for that. All right, so now I'm going to come in with my window cloth, and I'm going to just wipe flat again and shine that surface up nice and good. So I love the window cloth, like, is just the best, because who likes those, you know, who doesn't like those little fuzzies that you get when you're using paper towels? it is so annoying to me to have, you're walking around your house and you've got a bag of dirty paper towels. So that's how nice and shiny that gets. That's pretty awesome. Who wants to walk around with a bag of dirty paper towels, a roll of other paper, clean paper towels around your other arm, and then you're creating so much waste, and it's just not as effective. It leaves streaks, and you're spraying the Windex, and it's just streaming down the window. You don't have to worry about that with this. None of those annoyances anymore. So this is a great place to start if you're looking to just get something simple and kind of slowly get into the products. The next one that I wanted to show you is actually the dusting mitt. So this will come, this also comes in a little bit bigger package, which would have EnviroCloth, your window cloth, and then your dusting mitt. And that is the basic household package if you wanted this guy. So I'm gonna be honest, I've never been much of a duster. It's never really been my thing. I can honestly say I've never cleaned my blinds before having this guy, and that's actually one of my favorite uses for it. This plush microfiber really gets in all of the cracks and crevices of that, and another great use is also cleaning your screens, your window screens on your house. That plush also gets right into those grooves, and I can, again, honestly say I've never cleaned a screen before either. So there's always a first time for everything, right? So this has been amazing for that. And when you clean screens, you want to dampen it, but other than that, you're gonna use it dry. You can rub it together on itself to kind of create that static charge. And I'm going to just demo it real quick here with a little bit of flour on the counter. So let me move over here a little bit. So I'll put a little bit of flour on there, and you're just going to take it and swipe it across, and then you can see I can use the back side to pick up the rest of it, so it sticks right into there. And you can see I can shake this mitt and it's all stuck right into it. So you're not going to be dropping dust as you're going around the house. And you're not going to be dropping the dust everywhere. And I used to use Swiffers, and the Swiffers, honestly, you're kind of just swishing around that dust, and it's resettling in other places so that you're having to dust sooner. And I also used to use things like Pledge Cleaner, and it leaves a chemical residue behind, and then you're stuck, the dust is sticking to it, and you're finding yourself having to dust even sooner. So I was finding myself kind of in this cycle, and I was frustrated because I'm like, I'm not gonna dust again when I just did it yesterday, So this has been actually one of those kind of lifesavers that I didn't really know I needed. And when you're done with it, you can take this rubber brush. This is actually an accessory to the mop collection, and you just brush it down into the trash. I've also found that, heard that this is great for people with arthritis. Some clients with arthritis really like it because they're not having to hold onto a cloth or a Swiffer duster, as they're going around dusting. And so it's really been, just kind of one of those things I didn't know I needed, and it's really kind of changed the way that I do things for dusting. So that has been a great product. It's also, actually I wanted to share, a secret use for it is throw it in your beach bag, and you can wipe up all of the sand off of your feet after the beach before you get in the car, so that you're not dragging all of that sand in the car. So that's one of my, a great little tip for that guy too. Now, before I go further, I want to kind of talk a little bit about the care of these products. So we've talked a lot about, how we can replace other items with them, but I wanted to, it's equally as important to show you how to care for them, or tell you how to care for them. So first off, you do not want to put it in with anything linty, other towels and anything that's going to create lint, because they will stick to them. So avoid that. I suggest either washing them separate, or if you don't want to separate, you can put them in one of the dryer bag or the netted bags to wash and dry. We sell one of those if you need one, and that works great. Or you can, if you don't want to separate it, you can throw it in with some sheets, something that's really not going to be linty so that it won't collect anything on them. Now, you also do not want to use, you want to use a filler-free detergent. So this is our filler-free detergent. It's called Ultra Power Plus. It is honestly probably one of my favorite products. Outside of a few of, obviously it kind of is a different type of product, but it's really been one of those things I didn't know I needed. We were spending anywhere from $10 to $12 on one of those big jugs of Tide Free and Clear or something, and it really wasn't doing the job. My son's clothes were coming out and they were still having stains and even some grime, like dirt and food and stuff that didn't get rinsed off before. And with this, they come out perfectly clean. And I was so skeptical of this because I bought it and I'm thinking, you know what? It can't hurt because, I'm going to save a lot of money because a little bit of this goes a long way. I use half a teaspoon. This is just a sample size bag. There's a big bag that you actually get when you buy it. And the big bag is going to last me probably about 200 loads. That's a lot. I mean, I'll probably go through 1 or 2 bags a year. Whereas I'm buying every 2 weeks or so of the jug, so the liquid detergent. So I'm super happy with that and with the result of this. And then it's also so great for our health and also for the environment. It's 100% biodegradable. There's no phosphates, no sulfates, no chlorine or bleach, no fillers, no optical brighteners. They do not test on animals, and there's no dyes or fragrances. So it's great for sensitive skin as well. So I can use this on the whole household. I don't have to have a separate detergent for my son's clothes. So that's another bonus. So this is truly just something that I really am passionate about. So I wanted to compare a little bit to other detergents just to show you. So this is a commonly used detergent. It's neither free nor clear. You can see all of those fillers in the bottom. Fillers act as fluff, so they're making you think that you're getting more than you really are, and that's just not the case. And then I have here another very commonly used one, and this is actually blue because it has optical brighteners in it. Optical brighteners are designed to stick to your clothes, and it's made to trick the eye into thinking that your clothes are actually brighter than they really are. So not good, especially when that 26 seconds comes into play. You are, it's sitting on your skin from being on your clothes, and then you're absorbing it into your bloodstream. So not good. And then lastly, I want to show you this is the Free and Clear. So it doesn't even look like there's anything in there. So I'm going to shake it up. This is not Free and Clear. This is the Ultra Power Plus. Clorox is Ultra Power Plus. So it literally looks like water. It is a very concentrated detergent, and that's why you only need such a small amount. When we used it for the first time, I had my husband doing the laundry, and so he calls me down, and I thought something was wrong. I'm like, oh gosh, what did he do? He put too much or something. And I get down there and he's like, check out the water. And the water was so dingy. It was like brown. So I'm like, how long has our detergent not even been cleaning our clothes? Like, this is so disgusting. So that was really amazing. And I have a before and after picture I can always show you guys of that. And so that is just like, it really kind of blew my mind. I was not expecting it to be as good as it is, and it's really truly amazing. I also will put it in a water bottle, put about a teaspoon in a water bottle and fill the rest with water, and use it as a spot cleaner. So I'll spray it on stains. My son is always eating berries. Blueberries, strawberries are his favorite, and the dribbles, the juice always finds its way onto the whitest of his shirts or on anything, and it's just so hard to get out typically, but I have had great results with that. Just spray it on, and then it's good to go. So that is awesome. And now, so we've talked about detergent and using a filler-free detergent, and I want to now talk a little bit about dryer sheets. So does everyone still use dryer sheets? I know a lot of people probably do, because we're really not I hadn't really heard a whole lot about how bad dryer sheets were for us previously, but I actually had to put this, I borrowed this from someone, and I actually put it in a baggie because I came down and it was on the counter, and it smelt up my entire kitchen, and it was just like, it was too powerful for me. I haven't used them in a while, so it kind of like, it overtook the kitchen, and it was really kind of nauseating to me. I have a box of those here, and you do not want to use dryer sheets or fabric softeners on your products because they leave, what they're designed to do is stick to your clothes and leave that, chemical, the toxic residue on it. So if they cling to your microfiber products, they're actually going to make them less effective. So do not use fabric softeners or dryer sheets. These dryer sheets, there's a few stories that I wanted to share with you guys that are truly mind-blowing to me. One of my friends actually had a college friend that she had her dryer caught fire, and it burnt down her entire condo. And the culprit was these. They found that the dryer sheets had clogged up the lint trap so bad, leaving that chemical residue on it, that it wasn't working properly and burned down her entire condo. That's super scary to me. That right there was like, fire, no thank you. So make sure you check those lint traps and make sure that water can run through them so that they're able to do their job. And then I highly recommend that you ditch these. There's another consultant. Another consultant was doing a home party, and a lady brought her husband, and he was a dump truck driver, and he was trying to call her bluff, and he said, the next time I go into the landfill, I'm going to put a box of these in his truck. So he did it, and they have a sensor that goes off when there is hazardous chemicals or toxic waste in the truck, and the sensor actually went off when this box, he had an unopened box in there. So when they're unopened and there's a box there, all those chemicals are in here. When you're using them in your dryer, the chemicals are all leaching off and sticking to your clothes. And then that 26 seconds again is coming into play where they're stuck to your clothes and sitting on your skin. So they're super bad for your health, the environment, for everything. They don't want them in landfills. So that was pretty eye-opening as well. And I wanted to read off the box here one little label of caution. It says, not for use on children's sleepwear or other garments labeled as flame resistance, as it may reduce flame resistance. Now, that is scary because that is basically saying this is going to make things more flammable. So just not good. I also want to go ahead and talk a little bit about, just kind of give you these chemicals and fabric softeners. There's a couple ingredients that are being linked to different diseases, and I wanted to share those with you. So benzyl acetate is linked to pancreatic cancer. Benzyl alcohol, upper respiratory tract irritations. Ethanol is linked to central nervous system disorders, and chloroform is a neurotoxin and carcinogen. So that is so scary to me. I looked at a few products that I was using, and I actually saw some of the benzyl alcohol in it, and that's upper respiratory tract irritation. So you really have to be reading those labels, check the labels because on everything you use, because it's really becoming a problem and making us ill. And that's something I'm so passionate about because I think we're kind of blinded by that and not knowing what is causing all these issues when it's kind of right here in front of us and we're not really being told the truth. So what I suggest, so it's not easy to switch from those dryer sheets, I'll be honest, because everyone loves that fragrance, right? Now I can't even be in the room with it, but these are the wool dryer balls. So they come in a set of 3. What they do is they dance around in your dryer. What dryer sheets don't do is the weight of them actually separates the clothes as they're drying, and they're going to reduce drying time, which saves you money. So these are awesome. There's an alternative if you are sensitive to wool. There is a plastic set that you can buy. So I will, have like 3 of these, 2 of the plastic ones, and it works wonders. I have a safety pin on here, I think you can see, and or a clothespin, and what that does is reduces some of the static, and you can also put a drop of essential oil on it if you do want that fragrance, and it will And that's a more natural way of getting a fragrance than having to use dryer sheets. So switching to these is super important. So I encourage you to do that. So it looks like that that wraps it up for these demos. I want to move you guys right over here real quick and just do one of my absolute favorites, the mop. And I've been waiting to show you guys this all week because it is one of my absolute favorites. So this is our mop. It comes in two collections. So there's the Superior Mop collection, and then there is the Mini Mop collection. So this is the Superior Mop collection. The Mini Mop is a little bit smaller, and I almost got that the first time when I bought mine, but then I'm so glad that I got the larger one because it really just does a nice job. So, so I've got that. I just want to get you set up a little bit better. So basically what we have here, I wanted to talk a little bit about, so you can get the mop 3 different ways. You can obviously buy it. It is worth every penny to me. I have had everything from, traditional mopping to Swiffers, and I never ended up repurchasing the Swiffers, and that just turned into a nightmare. And traditional mopping just didn't do the job, and it also left chemical residue all over my floors, and I had streaky floors. So this does not do that. But you can also get it if you wanted to host a party. I have some party gift bags here for anyone who decides they want to host one before this party ends. No pressure. You have until the party ends to let me know. Just shoot me a message, and then you'll get to pick one of the prize bags and get a little goodie. And so that's the second way you can earn. And Norwex is super generous with their host rewards. So you will get a ton of free product, and that's something that is really awesome about this company as well. And thirdly, you can always become a consultant. If you're interested in getting a discount or even just earning a little extra money, then you can reach out to me for that as well to get more details. So without further ado, I want to get into this. So this is the mop. It has a telescopic handle. It goes up this high, so I'm 5'6", and it goes up this high, so that's pretty high. It also attaches to our Enviro wand. It goes down this low, and I put it at chin height and then lock it in. You just twist it to lock it in. It's great for, you attach it to the Enviro wand, or even using our pads, and you can get up high in corners of ceilings and that sort of thing. The Enviro wand, I don't have it handy to show you. It's made out of this chenille. You can see it, find it in the catalog, and it actually bends, which is awesome. You can get up on fridges, ceiling fans, you name it, hard to reach areas. So that's an awesome item that I have on my wish list. So. And then the bottom here has Velcro for the pads to stick to. And then you can see that this base moves all around. So you can honestly use it with one hand. It moves around so easily. There's also this lock feature here. So I'm going to show you. You can lock this right into place. And that makes it so this can only, can't move this way, but it can move side to side. So that's what you want to lock it into place, is for you cleaning walls, ceilings. We get these cobwebs from our pellet stove up in our corners, so it's great for getting those out of there. So that's a neat little feature as well. So I'm going to unlock it so I can show you the actual, how it works. But so we first have our dry mop pad, and that's this guy. And the dry mop pad basically replaces vacuuming and sweeping of hardwood, laminate, tile, whatever floor surface you have. You can use this on it. It's not going to harm any of the surfaces. So you put it down and you just Velcro it right to it so that it sticks. And I'm going to just go ahead and mop around so I can show you how much this collects. We've been outside a lot, so it's really been kind of sandy and dirty in here. You want to go in a figure-8 motion like this so that you're keeping all of that dirt and grime at the front of it. And then at the end, I also like to, if there is any left in front of the pad at the end, which it won't be much, I take the dry Enviro cloth, and the static will actually cling to it, and you can just dump it right in the trash. It gets really nicely underneath these floorboards, and underneath appliances. So here, gets right underneath. It's awesome for that. And you can even put it to one side so that the you can Velcro it to one side so that you have extra so that it can really go up underneath floorboards, which is awesome too. I love that. So let's see what I've collected here for you guys. So I just did this yesterday. I do it about once a day if I have time. And look at all of that just cleaned up. And that's just from this little teeny section here of my kitchen. So I don't even know what this is. There's dirt, dog hair, grass, those summertime cleaning, right? So I'm gonna now show you how to actually clean it. I'm going to take this rubber brush, which I didn't think I needed in the beginning, but I'm telling you, this is everything. I also clean my stairs with it, get all the hair, dog hair out of the corners, cleans dog hair off of car upholstery as well, really nicely. So what you do is you take this and you brush it right into the trash. And what you're left with is a clean pad. This is made of microfiber as well, so it's cleaning up 99.9% of the bacteria. And you are left with a clean pad to hang up and use again. So I pull it off. I use these nifty little tags to hang, and I hang it up in my closet. I have those command hooks, and you can use this again. I wash it probably about once a month, and again, I use it almost daily, every couple of days. And then, so next we have this is the blue mop pad, which is the wet mop pad. This one, you take it to the sink, saturate it, wring it out, just like you would the EnviroCloth. Then you're just going to put it down, Velcro to it, and you can just go back and forth with this guy. You do not need to do figure-8 motion because you already cleaned up all of that dirt with the dry mop pad prior to. So you're all set with that. When you were done with it, I take it off, I bring it to the sink, I take the hose on my sink and hot water and really just run it down it, and you can see all the dirt come out. It's so awesome. It's really satisfying. So it just comes right out into the sink, and then you can wring it out and again hang it up by this tag here and let it dry. So once it's dry, you're ready to go again. And this is made of the microfiber as well, the looped weave. So it picks up 99.9% of the bacteria. And I wash this one probably about every 1 to 2 uses, just because it definitely gets up a lot more of the dirt and grime, and it kind of stays in it, whereas the other one you're dusting it off into the trash. You can also I walk around sometimes with a spray bottle if there's any little sticky spots, that I find across the floor, which is very often, and spray a little on it, and then use your foot to kind of work the mess up. So it works like a charm and is the best. So you're gonna see some different pads as well. This is a chenille one. It's great for if you have a lot of dog hair. There's also a tile pad that I do not have because I don't have tile in my house, but I would recommend starting with the basic mop system if you're going to. I wouldn't buy any of those added pads until you find you really need them, because I think most people find that they do just fine with the others, and it's not going to harm the tile or anything like that. You can use it on all surfaces, so don't worry about that. All right, so that's the mop. I really hope that you guys, some of you will get it because it is so awesome. You will not be disappointed. It is my favorite. So we also, there are some party bags over there as I bring you back over here. So don't forget to let me know if you want to host your own party. You just have to invite your guests, and I do the work. It's so fun, just like this one, lots of giveaways and stuff. That's really it that I have for you today. So make sure, I'm going to post the link to order right in the comments, as well as add it to the event description. So go in and place your orders so that you guys can get those soon. They ship right away. And make sure you run your orders by me so I can help you get the most for your money, get the most bang for your buck. And I will be back here in about a week to draw the winners for the different giveaways that we had going on throughout the week. And everyone who orders from the party will actually be entered into a giveaway as well. So get those orders placed. Let me know if you have any questions. And thank you so much for joining me tonight. Have a good night. Bye-bye.